Some attributes that separate us in terms of curriculum and player development, I think is just number one, that we have one, right? We have a system of development. So history lesson, way back, training a player, and that's real simple just to train one kid one time, right? You can give them everything you got. But then if you're good at it, they come back. All right, well, what are we gonna do now, right? And that's okay, I can bridge the gap between 2 sessions, no problem, right? I can bridge it between 3, even a month, but what if they come back again another month? What if they come back for another year? What are you teaching them and how are you progressing them along has to be the question that you ask yourself, and that's what I had to ask myself. Like, what is it that I'm actually trying to get accomplished here with the player, right? Then there might be another issue where you're training this player, you're doing a good job, word of mouth starts happening, so then another player wants to come in with the group. That's great, but now they want what you're doing with this player. They didn't see the process that you got to getting to this drill that you're doing with them, which is gonna be more complex, gonna be more creative, right? And that's what they want. They want to jump in right there. That was a frustration for me because all of a sudden I got a 4th grader that can't do a left-hand layup, but they want to come do all this spin back and want me to teach them how to dunk. There's a process to development, and it was right there where it was like, well, then what is the process? What are we doing here and what are we trying to get accomplished? And so for us, what we have is a system of development that is all centered around players making teams, right? So for us, we have a system of development. It's a curriculum that we train all our staff on. We have a manual that's called the language manual, which identifies and gives a name to every drill that we teach. So we're all speaking the same language. We created our master curriculum of how we're gonna do development, and we created it drill by drill, and we did it when we were in an office that was 150 square feet. Proprietary, not patent. All developed in-house. And look, we have a lot of people that have played basketball at a lot of high levels, right, and have gone through it, and that's what's awesome about it, but that's also what can be confusing about it, right, because this coach developed you this way, this one did this way. So what we had to do was really just kind of, challenge everything that we have known about basketball and really systemize it out so it's the same, right? And the really cool thing that I've experienced personally, I was up there at our Milwaukee location and they had their winter camp. And there was a player that had visited their grandmother and they trained at our Indy location, saw that it was over break and we had a camp there, and then they signed up. And that was awesome. And the only question I asked her was, is it the same or is this any different? She's like, no, it's the same thing. I've had players that have come up here from Indianapolis and we ask questions to players, make sure they're paying attention, all that stuff like, hey, where's the default location? Diagonal off your right foot. All right, they're doing a good job down there, right? So it's really cool to see how we've systemized this thing, how it works really well. So it's been developed in-house and it's very systemized in terms of our way of being able to explain that to all of our trainers and all of our employees at all the locations. So if we make a change here, it's changed across the board. I think that's real special, right? So the stuff that we've developed, it is in-house, it's exclusive to us, if you will, but it's very systemized and there's a teaching method that we have for all of the staff that's employed here. This way works for us, right? And it's been proven. We've done this long enough that we've seen it work and we've graduated players and they've come back and told us that it works, and it's helped prepare them for the next level in which they were going to in basketball. Parents expect results. The expectation has risen within the industry, right? And that means they're willing to pay for it. So that's awesome, that's great, but you have to give them what they came for. And we try to exceed that every time. So with anybody that's coming in new, I always tell them, dude, we can just help you kind of alleviate some of these problems and stressors that you're gonna inevitably run into, because we already have.